Hey guys, I'm Sam.
I'm Jody.
Welcome back to our channel, Razor Focused. We're so glad you joined us today. Today, what are we doing?
We are installing a USB port, actually a double USB port on our RZR so that while we're out traveling, we can charge our phones just so we can be up on all the video and photos that we want to take.
Sweet.
And not miss a text, you know.
Gotta have power. Let's get going. All right, guys, and here we are again, and we want to again, hide all the wires. We're going to try to run some wires through this for our GoPro as well. We'll run our USB GoPro. Some of you have asked about our camera and what we do, and so we use a GoPro on our rides, but you can't hear us, so we're trying out some microphones. Let us know how they sound on your end. And also, we want to run in that USB, but we want to hide all the wires. So we've taken the top off on ours and on Nathan's. We've taken all these things off several times. We're going to do that again.
We've gotten kind of good at it.
We've really kind of gotten, not something I want to be good at, but we've gotten good at. So we're going to go ahead and take off the windshield again as we start this process. And I'll go ahead and put this to the side.
Woohoo.
And then I'll take this off here. And I hope you like the cool shirts. If you haven't picked one of these up, pick one up. You'll see it in the link in our description where you can get one for you and your family. I'm going to take that off. And again, we're still trying to figure out the microphone, so bear with us. Okay, guys, so a T40, Torx 40 gets these bolts off. You can take them off with the power tool, but do not put them on.
Still
Again,
snap that little receiver clip that's in there,
yes,
right?
as I've said many times, you do not want to snap that little this little metal thing here. We've done that early on. These don't fit very tight in there. Don't over tighten them.
I love that little cup that you use, babe.
Yes,
little magnetic cup.
Harbor Freight magnetic trays here. Watch for the coupons. They're just a great deal. I use them for everything. One thing we do need is my handy dandy clip remover. So we're going to go right up here, Jody. This makes it so much easier to pull these out without damaging them. Just kind of give it a little lift there. Kind of wiggles under. Now, of course, there's other brands too. I'm not brand specific. Whatever gets.
Oh, you love Snap-on.
I do, but whatever gets you out there wrenching with you and your loved ones, get it done.
We're going to take off this whole black piece right here, right?
Yes, we're going to take off the whole black cover there so we can fish it through. Maybe you guys are a little better than I am. You could probably run a fish wire and get that in. But
once you've had practice taking off those little clips and such, it's pretty easy. And then you can just zip it through and you can zip tie it and make sure it's secure.
And also, we want you guys to be able to see it. One thing we've learned too is, I use YouTube a lot to learn things, and we want to make our channel something effective for you guys as well. So one thing we've learned is get some of this stuff out of the way.
So you can see what's going on.
So you can see kind of what's going on there. So again, see, this is the ride command. So we're going under it. It's just easier when you're not fighting all this stuff. And you can see where we put some of our wires, where they're hidden. If you remember, we put in our winch. And then we just put in a light bar as well. And so we can kind of hide all that here. Now, some of you said, why didn't you run it down in this bottom grommet way down there, like we did on Nathan's? Well, that's a lot of wires through here. And also the relays, the switch itself, the connector on the light bar would not fit through that. So keep it as high as we can. Maybe one day we'll come up with some kind of grommet for that. It is rectangular. Maybe you know of a rectangular grommet. Let us know. So now let's get into the wiring. Okay, guys. So this is the GoPro camera we use. It's a GoPro Hero 9. Many of you have asked how we set it up. Now, on our trip to Virginia, we learned a lot of things. I'm using the mod adapter now. We did not use the mod adapter before. We only used the microphone that was on the GoPro. And as many of you noticed, it was hard to hear Jody and I. You didn't hear really any of us, but you could hear the road noise and you could hear the sound of the motor, and the camera quality was amazing. We use the Max Lens mod. It's a lens that attaches here, and you can literally turn the camera in any direction and the horizon stays level. And it's really amazing. We love that about this camera. But hence why the microphones, and we put the mod here. We can use this with our microphones. But where this camera goes, I'm gonna step in here and I'm gonna raise this up. We got a different adapter now, because one thing we learned was, again, that it's kind of a pain to change the battery, and this is magnetic. And so if I can get my fingers to work here, and it just locks in, but I have it backwards, of course. It would lock in like so, if you put it the right direction, Sammy. And one thing I've noticed too is how this thumb screw is hard to reach when you're doing your videos. So if I have it all attached, we just put this mod on so we can just pop it in, pop it out. But apparently I need to turn that around. So let's do that real quick, Jody.
All right.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just take out the thumb screw that's holding the GoPro up there, just like you would normally. And see, that's the GoPro attachment. I'm just going to flip it. So now we're going the right direction.
Because you want to video the ride, not just our faces.
Yeah, well, we still use our iPhone for that kind of stuff. But see, this way, and I'll tighten it up there later. But see, that way now we can position it. We'll position how we want to. But then this way now I can just twist this. And there's a magnet, so it's not going to just fall. And I can pop it out. And then we can use the GoPro whenever we're out. But then going back on is just like so. One of the things we noticed that we were running out of battery power. We get about 20 minutes and we'd have to change the batteries. And it's kind of a pain to take that on and off, where we have
Especially the old mount that we had. You had to use the thumb screw, or you had to
like
twist it a certain way.
Pair of pliers in here. It was really kind of a pain. So I really like this quick mount. But also, what we're doing today with the USB will allow us not to run out of battery power, because on the mod attachment, there's a USB-C connection, and I'll show you that here. So on the mod attachment, there's a USB connection, so we can run power and save our batteries. So let's, I'm gonna leave that here, and let me get repositioned here, and we'll show you what we're gonna do with the wires. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and drill a hole real quick. Right now we're working on the USB line. We're not running the power yet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm in the glove box area. We already made our winch cabled connection here. We have our winch switch connection, but we're kind of hiding some of the things in this little glove box. So we're gonna go a little higher, just so it's easier to feed. And I gotta make sure that that's big enough for that USB cable.
And it's that angled head, so it's a little...
Yeah, it's a little tricky. So we're gonna see if that'll go through. If we have to make it a little bigger, we can, because it is a right angle head. Oh, just a little bigger. So let's make that a little bigger. All right, let's make this a little bigger. We don't want to go too big, just big enough. And let's see, there we go. See that we can feed that through. And now we'll start feeding this where we want to. We're going to go up the light bar channel, try to go inside the bar. And there's a little hole out here, right there. And then we'll come down and zip top here. At first I was thinking I was going to zip tie along the poles, but then my son pointed that out. So we're going to use that little cavity to run those through.
Woohoo.
Okay, so what we have here is a fish tape and some string. And we're going to go and just kind of loop this through. And our plan is, because this is, we tried some baling wire. It was too flexible. We tried just doing the fish tape, which goes through fine, but you can't make the curve in there. So what we're going to do is run the string through, and I'm going to pull it out, and then we'll pull the fish tape out with the string will be inside the pipe, and then we'll cut it, and then we'll use the string as the fish. So let's get that going. And I have it looped on there. I don't want it to fall off there. So now we'll feed that through. That was Miss Jody's idea. That's why we got pink string. Okay, so I see the string. Got my little hook. And it's kind of hard to see the string. Got to get my bifocal just right. Of course, I got the fish tape there. Where's my light at? Let me grab my light here so I can see it a little better.
Hey, baby, I can hold the
I
light.
see the fish string right there. Ta-da! Man, Jody, that's thinking, girl. Okay, so now we're going to pull the fish out. Let's not take the string out with us. But there we go. So we got string. We got string over here. I'm going to cut this real quick using my just good old. And hallelujah, we have our fish through there. So I'm going to just get these tools out of the way. And now the plan is we have to run this. This is our USB-C, and it's a right angle. You'll see why here after a while, with a USB right angle.
Which one goes to the...
This goes to the camera, so we're feeding up to the camera for the size of the holes. So we're gonna get this fed in here.
Into the hole that we drilled.
Into the hole that we drilled. Because we try to hide as much as we can. Also, it's less to get caught on. Because I don't know about you, but I always tend to get caught on things. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna...
It just looks cleaner.
Yeah, it looks cleaner, but I get caught on things. So now I'm gonna just tie this in. And normally Jody does all my little fine detailed things because I can't get my chubby hands to do things.
You're doing just fine, babe.
And I want to just make another knot here. There we go. So that should feed. Now I should be able to feed this through here inside the pipe. All right, we're doing good. I want to kind of just guide it. Don't want to yank on it.
Well, baby, you gotta go under the cowling.
Oh, I'm so glad you caught that. Look at that. See? Partner in crime here. What will we do without our wonderful bride or your wonderful husband? I hope that you guys go out and enjoy life together. Okay, let me unknot that. And this is my nemesis. Even if it's a knot that I created. There we go. So glad you caught that, love. Okay, so now that we're here, so now here comes another tricky part.
I can feed it, babe.
I may let your little hands do that.
Okay, guys. So we fed it through the hole that we drilled in the glove box area. And now, instead of feeding it under, I'm just going to go through here and try and wind my hand around because I have small hands.
Yes, Miss Jody's tiny.
No, not tiny.
It's right there. I can hear it.
I know. I can feel it. My finger just won't get it there. Hold on.
Do you need to get inside the razor so you get a little arm length?
I do. Sorry, babe. Get up in here. Yeah, there it is.
There you go.
There we go.
Okay, cool. Now, if you'll make a little knot around that.
Oh, I don't know if I want to do the knot.
Here, I'll do the knot. I don't mind. I can make a good knot. The question is whether I can get it undone.
I can too. That's the problem.
Okay, good. Now let me fish it through there.
Okay.
Okay, good. You see Miss Jody has it right here. And this is a cloth-covered USB cable. It keeps it flexible as well as durable. So she fed it through under here. Now, again, our plan is to pull the string right through there. So glad she caught that. I'm going to kind of help feed it along so we're not stressing out the cable. And also,
then just pulling up at the top,
and you'll see I'm right here. And now this is where, again, I need my light because I just can't seem to see anything. And it's right here, so I need to pull back just a little bit. Oh, it's right there.
Yeah, ooh,
So
that worked.
now I'm going to use my pick. I don't want to damage that USB connection.
No.
So there we go.
Do you need to hold the light, baby?
If you can do both.
Talented.
Now I'm going to try to pull as well. There we go.
Woohoo!
I'm going to feed this through here.
Yeah.
We can come down with some extra here in a moment, but I'm going to come down now. I'm going to come through this rubber net, and where we're going to put the switch is right here. So when we position the switch, hopefully it's not one of those switches like this, which again, no big deal, but hopefully it's the right position.
Yeah.
If we have to flip the switch so it's upside down, we'll do it upside down,
Okay.
just so it's easier to make it go the right direction. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
Because USB don't matter. So now let me undo this lovely, beautiful knot.
And you want the slack at the bottom, right? Not
Yes,
at the top.
but we're kind of going backwards to the camera, and then we'll
Okay.
pull back whatever we need.
Perfect.
So let me just take this knot off, and then we'll get going.
Yay.
All right, so you guys already know that we're neat freaks, so I've got my little handy-dandy battery-powered DeWalt vacuum cleaner. Going to vacuum out the little plastic crumbs. Awesome. Look at that.
Woohoo!
The right way.
Yay.
Okay, guys, this is the Busbar Connector. You've seen us use these quite a bit. I'll put that in the Amazon link. But the black is negative, ground, hot, and ignition. So we are not going to be using the hot because I don't want it to be hot all the time. In other words, I don't want to kill my battery because I forgot to leave my GoPro or something else, the USB going. So I'm only going to use ignition. So I need to take this one off. And you could either redneck and just yank it out and possibly tear it up. Or you can get a screwdriver or a pick and push that little connector out of it. Now, it's kind of a little booger, but this is a retention. As I get one out.
You have to take off both sides?
There you go. And then that just comes out. So now that that's out, the retention is out, and there's a little push pin here. You just kind of push down on it,
I'll pop that wire
and it
out.
pops it out. So we're not going to use that connector, and then we'll put this retainer back on.
So that way the other wires won't come loose.
That way those don't just come loose. It just kind of helps put some friction in there and grabs it in. So now that those are ready,
You said one was ground and one was
this
keyed?
is ground, this is keyed, and then of course that was hot. So we're not going constant hot. We're not going to use constant hot. Let me get some tools here real quick. And I love these Klein strippers. You've seen me use the Harbor Freight ones too, and so I'm just going to take off a little bit of that insulation on both ends. And because this is short, we had to get some wire so we could extend it so it'll go through the firewall, because on the USB side, it's only the blades. So we're going to go ahead and open this up. You can get it at any auto parts store, stranded wire, and it's just an automotive grade wire.
And it's 12 gauge?
It's 12 gauge, and I had 14 gauge, or actually I think it's 18 gauge.
Yeah.
And it
It's
probably,
tiny.
yeah, it probably would have worked, but because this is 12 gauge, I thought I'd stay out of the probablys, and
You just get better contact if they're both the same size, don't you?
yeah, I think so. It amps better, it draws better, and of course we went matching wires. You could have used, if I had a red wire, I would have used red wire, but since I was buying some, I just went and got we just got the kind that matched. And that way we know from our end of it as well.
So you're going to create the long wires now, or are you going to put them onto the bus bar and make the wire?
What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make it a little longer on the bus bar. We'll feed it through. I'll have a little safe. We're going to kind of measure some extra here. So we're going to put this on the bus bar, and then we'll kind of get a measurement of wire of what we need. So let's go ahead and move on over there. Okay, so we know this bus wire is going to go right here, bus bar. So I'm going to just put that there per se. And then I know this wire is going to go all the way to the bottom. So I'm going to just kind of feed some through here and just kind of figure out how much wire I need. And again, it's a little extra. I would rather waste a little extra wire than not have enough. So I'll have a little extra there, plenty of wire, so now I'll use this and match my ground wire. So let's go ahead and go back over here to the table. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of mock and match this wire here so they're the same length.
Because they should be.
Yeah, it should be. There we go. And now I'll go ahead and cut that. And to kind of give you a cost, you know, the wire was $9 a roll. Could have maybe looked on Amazon, but I didn't realize that I needed it, so we just ran to the store and picked some up. I'm just going to cut these little, and I love these automatic cutters. They're amazing. And
so much easier than regular wire strippers.
They just work so awesome. I love them. And I'm going to cut them here. And at your guys' suggestion, someone said, hey, do some heat shrink. We're going to go back and do that on a light bar instead of the cloth wrap. Do some heat shrink or do some heat shrink terminals. So we got some heat shrink terminals. And this is a pretty cool kit, Jody. I don't know if you can kind of look at it. It's got the different gauges and they're color coded. So we're obviously using
Quibok?
I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, but Keybock, whatever. But it's got, these are heat shrink waterproof, and it's got the gauge colors. So we're obviously using 12 gauge, so we're going to use the black ones. And let's see here. Now, this says on the gauge here, it says 12 to 10. So I'm going to put that in here. Of course, my fingers are not ready, so bear with me. There we go, and I'm just going to crimp it. Okay. Now I'm going to do the other one.
And that works like in place of a wire nut? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, wire nut would be like for the house.
Right.
But on automotive, you use these. Now, we've used these, but we've not used these heat shrink ones. So this is new to us, heat shrink, waterproof. We're going to try that here in just a moment. Okay, so that's, I'll say the tug test. It's tugged good. And I'm going to go and put one on the other side. Oh, hang on. No, I'm not. Because the other side is going to be bladed, which will be these little blades here. Mm-hmm. So this is going to go onto the bus bar.
Oh, okay, I understand now.
So we're just connecting is what we're doing. So I'm going to go ahead and get that one.
By bladed, you mean the teeth that are in here?
Yes, uh-huh.
Okay.
So what I'm doing now is getting this wire connected. And again, not like they're drawing a lot of amps on a USB connection, but...
And it's not a constant draw. It's not something you're going to have all the time on.
Correct. Now, it says use a heat gun, but I don't have a heat gun of all the things I have. Okay, let's see if we can get this to torch on. There we go. We got fire. It's funny, my daughter going to chef school, that's why I look like this now, says, Dad, can I use your torch? So it's funny how the kids take your tools. My son likes the tools for other things, and my daughter likes it for creme brulee. So let's see here, Jody, if you can get a little closer here. Let's see how this heat shrink works with this.
Does it shrink? Oh, wow, it does. It is shrinking it.
And it's supposed to be waterproof. So there we go. We won't go too much. I don't want to burn it. It says use a heat gun. Probably what I should be doing is a heat gun. But if I go pretty quick here, believe it or not, I don't. Yeah, I need to get me a little heat gun.
Did that
But yeah,
seal
look at
up
that. It's
there?
sealed pretty, and it actually kind of melts in there. So yeah, that's
cool.
good. So cool. So now that that's done, we're going to feed this through. But we can go, I'm not going to put my blade connections on yet because I actually may cut it a little bit. Okay, so our plan is to put it right here. Let's see if we can move the camera where we're not blocking the light too much. And these little covers just pop right off, and that's where we're going to put our switch. Through these holes again that we have our light bar and our winch. And I may have to get a little ladder because I am kind of short. But if you look straight back in there, there you go. You can kind of see there's the hole right there. Right there where we're going to run these through. So let me feed this through, Miss Jody. It's going to take me just a second. Short people problems. I need to step through here, see if I can feed this through just by...
Kind of wind them together, braid them.
Well, I don't want to do that to shorten them. Let's see if I can get them through. I got one, I got two. Yippee!
Oh, that was easier than I thought.
Yes, so now what we'll do is we know this one's going to go right here. So I'm going to leave enough connection, enough wire to go like so, because it's going to go right here. And
You'll take out the blank, is that what that is?
yes, I'll
the
take,
blank plug?
yeah, we'll go and take that off right now. There's this little wing clip. Take those both off and get a pull. There we go.
Awesome.
So this is keyed ignition, so it's not going to go anywhere. So we'll go ahead and plug that in, and we're plugged in. But you see, I like to leave a little extra so we can zip tie. I don't like any stress on wires. We'll zip tie all this together here in a moment.
Good idea, babe.
Now we'll go back in here, and you can see all the extra I have. I don't need that much extra.
But you would hate to come up short.
Yes. So, you know, some of y'all are probably a little more meticulous than I am and would have measured that out. But I'm going to get measured out better. But I'm going to go right here. I'll save these two because you never know when you need a little extra wire. And then I'm going to do my cut connection. Just like so.
Those are so cool.
I love these things.
They're awesome.
And I'll put those in the link in there. I'll even put the Harbor Freight ones in there because we've had those good luck with those too for a long time. So now what I'm going to do is...
I just remember having to use pliers to strip it off and oof.
Yes. Now I do not have... These came with it. So I don't have...
Heat shrink on that.
Heat shrink on those. But I am going to push those in. And I know some of you guys are out there going, well, you know, you're going to get wet. It's no big deal. And Miss Jody and I have. You've seen that. There we go. But hopefully I don't have water up to here. I think we'll have a different issue if that's the case.
Yeah, you don't want to get it too, I don't know. The electronics, it
I
always
guess,
freaks
yeah.
me out a little.
I guess you could. I just don't want to. I'd rather watch someone else deal with cleaning their machine.
Yeah.
Come on, get in there. There we go. All right. And again, these crimpers are color coded, so you can't over tighten, which is nice. It gives you just the right tight. Good. Okay, so we do know which way is positive because it tells you positive, negative. Positive is going to obviously be the key ignition, and negative is obviously going to be the black one there, the negative, the ground. So we're going to plug that in. And these are going to be tight since they've not been used. Good. And now we're going to put the positive in here. Now before we do anything, before I put it in there, I want to turn the key. And we've got power.
Awesome.
And this is a 5-volt for 2 amp. So praise the Lord. We're going to put this cover on for just right now. All right, so let's go ahead and clip this in, push this through. And again, it's a tight little fit there, but it just pops right in. And now we got USB. And let's see how this connection, let's hope it works this way. Woot woot. We got power there. We got power going all the way up.
All the way up the pipe?
To our camera. So what we're going to do now is connect it to the camera and adjust. All right, guys. So we've got everything run. We don't have our dashboard on yet or anything. So we've got the USB-C power. And again, we're hoping that we have just enough of them connected. We're going to zip tie. You know, I don't know about you, but sometimes things just work out. Praise the Lord. And that's where my USB power's at. So I've got plenty of room up here to zip tie here. Let's see here if I got a little extra there. I could put one. Really, all I need is one zip tie, Jody.
You think?
Well, let's see. I can come this way. I could put a zip tie here and up here, and then we're good to go. Look at that. That's a perfect fit.
Awesome.
I want to go as tight as I can actually down the tube, so we're not stressing it when we throw gloves in here or whatever. You know. So I think if I just put one there.
You don't want it under the clamp?
I don't want it under the clamp because that clamp is tight on there. It'll just pinch it and break it. And, yeah, I don't want that, but I don't know that I want it that. Well, there you go.
I
put one right here, one right here. Does it look good?
I think so.
And then we're not ever up here holding on to anything, so that'll be out of the way, and we'll run a zip tie. We'll have to unclamp to zip tie.
Awesome.
Cool. Well, let's go ahead and put the covers on, and then we'll zip tie everything up. What do you think?
Perfect.
All right, guys. Let's throw the cover back on. We'll zip tie again. Now, one thing we have learned, start from right here where I'm at on my hand, because this is where the dashboard, there's two clips. And this is the part where we messed up several times, but now we don't because we've done it several times, and it just pops right in.
Yeah, because if you do the other side first, it doesn't pop in right, and it leaves a gap.
Yeah, it kind of leaves a gap there, and so there we go. We're in. Now we're going to put the Torx 40s on by hand.
Again, not by machine. It will torque them too hard, and they will pop.
Yeah, even a ratchet. I mean, it's like, you want like just, there you go. You can feel it. You don't have to get those things tight.
And there's how many? 4 or 5?
There's 4. So you can feel that. You don't have to go too tight on these because that little metal is fragile. But good job, Jody. I love when we start putting things back together.
I know.
It's like I always think of that song. We did it. Bum, 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 bum. Let's see if you guys know what that is. Put it in the comments. Make sure you guys like and subscribe as we're doing this. All right, going to put this cover on. And again, you've seen us do this 100 times. Well, not quite 100. And these just pop in. If you look around the front here, Jody, you'll see they just pop right in. And that's all there's to it. So those are in. Let's put the hood cover, or our friends in England, the bonnet. Hallelujah. I either get it the first time every time, or there we go.
That was good, babe.
And I like to push down on them as you go, because these things can break. And so give a little push, press. Awesome. Let's zip tie that, and we're good to go. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to unhook this cover, the roof.
It always sounds like you're breaking it.
I know, it freaks me out every time. And I'm just doing this just a little bit so I can run a couple of zip ties through here. And so I'm just going to run it through here. I'll move that mirror. Maybe you can see that a little better. Got to hold your mouth just right. Just getting that started. And I'm going to put another one right here. I'm just getting them started because I got to put the roof back on. So now I'll work on this real quick. It just sounds like they're going to break.
Mm-hmm. The first time we did it, we were like,
but it holds it secure. Mm-hmm. So the GoPro is connected safely. Wire's good there. I'm going to run the wire up. Run the wire over this one. Okay, now one of you guys suggested something. So, you know, guys help each other out, and I say guys, us together. You guys help us with some ideas. And one of you said, hey, grab a zip tie tool. And so I pulled up Amazon. I got this Klein zip tie tool, and zip tie goes in. I don't know if you can see it there, but it goes in, and it tightens. It grabs it, tightens it. Oh, see, I went too tight. And then you just pull the orange, and it cuts it.
Nice.
And man, there's nothing there either. So
no burr.
No Sharpie pointies. And these are small zip ties. So hallelujah. Now let's go to the front here, Jody, real quick, and we'll show everyone where the camera is. So if you see, the camera is right behind the mirror. Sorry, I'm blinding you with this.
That gives you the front and center view.
Yes, so we get that middle view. Got a little picture of the hood, and that's how we do our camera system. Hey guys, so one of the things that we're also going to add is this quad lock adapter. It goes to the roll bar, and one of the things that we found, Miss Jody and I, when we are out on the trail, is we put our phones in our lap. We have a glove box, but it kind of dangles in there, and we use our phone to record just like we're doing right now. So I want to mount my phone on a quad lock, so I'm going to put this little attachment like so, and probably about like that, where we can put the phone here. And again, it's on a ram lock, so you can adjust this any way you want to.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, really cool. And so we're going to do this right now. So let's put this on about right here. We're going to just tighten this on, and this is we'll put the link in there. This has a little rubber sleeve on it as well, so it doesn't scratch the roll bar. But one thing you want to watch is which direction you put the nut. If you ever have to take it off or change it, you know, I always try to be convenient where I'm putting my tool points. So I'm just going to tighten that down, and it gets a good little bite, and that's not going anywhere. And we're good to go. Now we can get our ram mount over there next to you, Miss Jody.
I thought it was connected.
Hey, the good thing is they're durable. So I'm going to put this mount here and this mount here, and I'm going to put it out where, again, I can get it from outside the vehicle. And this has a tab as well, which is really neat. So that locks it in. In our truck, we have just a friction lock, but when you're on a motorcycle or a RZR bouncing, you can lock it so it stays secure. So I'm going to put it just like so for right now. And there we go, quad lock done. Good place to put our phone. I can charge it via USB as well, and it's out of the way. And we can use it to record Jody and I facing us as well. So really trying to bring you guys into our life and see what's going on. I hope you like the trailer that we got, that we are going to be using that for ministry. Maybe one day God will open up an avenue where we can go out to a RZR meet and share the love of God to you guys as well, and just hang out with y'all. So I'm excited. I know Jody's excited to see what's next.
So awesome, babe.
Okay, guys. Now to put the windshield back on. And it kind of just tucks right on in. We're going to get this in here. There we go. And if you know, again, these are those quick locks by Polaris. This is a Polaris windshield. Now, I will tell you, the first time you get these, you're going to think, I will never get that on. It is super tight. Once you get it lined up the way you like it, as I just popped it off, it does better.
Hey guys, make sure you like and subscribe. And I hope you enjoyed this informative video. It's kind of fun getting your hands dirty, getting in there, getting the wires all hidden so that you can't see any of that, and yet you can still have the power that you need and get the videos that you need and the shots that you want. So I'm excited. I hope you have a blessed and amazing every day.
And stay RZR focused.